Commander, was there confusion with that last directive? We wanted you to take everything out, but Nod's still there. We can supply you with full force now, but it's imperative that this mission be completed. Wipe out Nod presence using all available forces. Oh, and FYI, institute maximum care when transporting captured Tiberium. It seems to display negative effects on some individuals. Out.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Vehicle reporting.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Reporting, roger. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. No problem. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Reinforcements have arrived. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Got it. Affirmative. Waiting to acknowledge. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Waiting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting. Vehicle reporting.
New construction options.
Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Waiting. Wait, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Reporting.
lost.
Reporting. Knowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, reporting. Acknowledge. Waiting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Vehicle affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Report. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle report. Vehicle. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Construction
Acknowledge.
complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
New construction options.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Reporting. Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting orders. Affirmative.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Construction complete.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Right away.
Construction
Yes, sir.
complete.
Yes, acknowledge.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Got it. Right away, sir. Yes, affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Reporting. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Structure sold.
Yes, sir. You got it. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Insufficient funds. Structure sold.
I'm a mechanical man.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge.
I'm a mechanical man.
Acknowledge.
Construction complete.
Yes, right away, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, affirmative.
Building.
Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Awaiting order. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle
Structure
reporting.
sold.
Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Awaiting orders.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle reporting. Awaiting orders.
Training. Unit ready. Structure sold. Building.
Awaiting order. Acknowledge.
Unit
Acknowledge.
ready. Training.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Engineering, affirmative. Engineering, affirmative.
Reporting.
Unit ready. Training.
Engineering, affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit ready.
Affirmative, affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Engineering, affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Base under
Affirmative.
attack.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Yes,
Unit
acknowledged.
ready.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Awaiting orders. Right away, sir. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Right away, sir.
Okay.
Report. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Yeah.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
Affirmative. Ready and wait. Roger. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. With affirmative. Vehicle. Affirmative. With affirmative. Vehicle. Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, vehicle reporting. Reporting. Waiting order. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. You got it. Yes, sir.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Reporting.
Unit lost.
Got it.
Unit
Right away,
ready.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Building. On hold. Cancel.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledge. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative.
New construction options. Building. Building. Structure sold. Unit lost. Structure sold.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Report.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Waiting order. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Yes, sir. You got it.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
On hold. Cancel.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Engineering. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle with acknowledge. Engineering.
Unit lost. Primary building.
Vehicle
Set.
acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Wait. Acknowledge.
Base
Yes,
under
sir.
attack.
Waiting order. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Awaiting orders. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Ready.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Knowledge. Knowledge.
Mission accomplished.